What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about 4 different altcoins today, I believe. Let me see. Yes, we're going to be talking about GFAL for the Lemart. We're talking about GFAL. Moving on from there, we're going to be talking about TET, Tectum, Prop Chain, and Alliance Block for Mr. Lowenherz. Yeah, and that's all we got. So without any further ado, let's get into this here. Looking at GFAL, Games for a Living as it's known, we're sitting at 4.32 cents right now. Yes, you've had a nice run up. You're overbought. Weekly RSI is looking nice, but you know this thing hasn't been around for a very long time, right? It's only been around since about March of this year, so it could definitely drop from here. It could drop all the way. Like with stuff like this, you really don't know what to expect. I mean, you could see something like this happen. You could see something far worse. You could continue to see just like growth like this. Maybe you come down and then you just like continue to build up like that, and you have the same kind of movement to the upside. I wonder what's the market cap? 67 million. I mean, yeah, that's still 68 million. Let's call it. That's still a pretty low market cap. Getting up there, but still pretty low. So you can see crazy volatility, especially again with something that it doesn't have any volume as it's growing. All the volume was back here. That's not necessarily encouraging to me. But this is only on BitGet. Let's see, maybe MEXC. MEXC has better looking volume, but I feel like BitGet has more. I don't know which one would have more volume out of the two, to be completely fair. We'll do BitGet. It has a little bit more history. But I do like the weekly RSI. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to grow, but I also I guess at first I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down. You know, maybe this would be a better low. You know, I just want to see. Does it? Yeah, okay, they're the same. That's good. You know, you're sitting at 4.3 cents now. You might be moving down to 2.6 cents, 2.7 cents. Previous area of resistance, find it as support, and then go up from there. That wouldn't be too crazy at all. Will you start that now, or do you have higher up to go first? Yeah, I think you could start that now. I think you could, absolutely. Yeah. Not a whole lot of volume. Again, you know, it's just dying off. Even on the MEXC chart, it's dying off as you're growing, so it's not encouraging. The RSI looks the same either way. You do have hidden bullish divergence, but that might not get you anywhere because you are below the 50. You are breaking below the 50 right now. You might actually break out of this right now. Yeah, 4 hour looks pretty weak. You're getting below the green line. I think GFAL wants to take a turn down. Probably drops a solid like 40 to 50%, something like that, and then I think that was what it was, right? Let me see. Not even 50%. What would that be? 37%, 38%, something like that. So somewhere around here, previous areas of resistance, then you could find support there. That would make sense to me, especially whenever you see strong moves like this coming down to your 382. That should be like a minimum expectation. With something that's only known upside like this with decreasing volume, it wouldn't be crazy even to go all the way to the 61869. So don't be surprised if it does that. You do have some other areas of resistance which could become support as well going down there. So I think that you are at a point where you could start turning around, yeah. And you've got bearish divergence on top of that to mark the top. Yeah, that's all I got for GFAL, so let's move on from there. We're going to be talking about, what was it? It was TET, T-E-T. Let's see, TET. Tectum on MEXC. Looking at it on the daily here. Very nice U-shaped recovery here. Overbought, very strong RSI actually. Kind of rejected the overbought zone. That's not ideal, especially in this kind of like double top-ish looking scenario that you got going on. But to be fair, you didn't really get a rejection, did you? I mean, like you did, but then you came back up. What is the market cap for this thing? TET. Tectum. 64, about, you know, in that same kind of area. You could be finding support on a previous area of resistance and looking to break out. This daily high closing here is a pretty big deal, and you are showing a lot of strength on your RSI, I gotta say. Not a whole lot to go off of on the weekly. On the 4 hour looks decent as well. Yeah, I think this thing wants to go higher. If it goes lower, it won't be by much. I would doubt, you know, kind of like how it's been if you go below this daily high close, it's going to be very short-lived if you go below it. Yeah, I think you want to try higher, personally. I think this thing's getting started. Where are you going to go? From top to bottom, finding support on the 6.9 like that, 7.86 support. Yeah, you're probably going, I mean, you're working your way up, I think, right now to these zones up here, anywhere from about $28 to $53, and here you are sitting at $12 right now. Now, when I say you're working your way up to those zones, maybe it happens by the end of the year, maybe it happens sometime in the beginning of next year. And I say this zone, maybe you only touch this line here or barely break through it, right? Maybe you stop at this line. You don't have to go all the way up here, but you could, and you could go higher. But with this kind of structural look on the fib, you broke above your 618, you found support on it twice. Now you're finding support on your 786 where you found resistance before. I very much would expect that before you see some kind of more major correction, that you would break your all-time highs and see a 1272 to a 1618 extension. That's kind of my anticipation at the moment. So that's Tectum. I think it does that. I think that's kind of its like main thing that it wants to do. As far as like long term, because I know you're asking for that, I don't know, man. It's such a new chart. It's really hard to get the long term on this. If it's successful, if it's not a scam, if it doesn't rug pull, it could go a hell of a lot higher than that, right? Like you've got a 63, let's call it a $64 million market cap, a 100x would be $6.4 billion. So this thing could, if it was to be relevant, it could see tens of billions of dollars in market cap valuation in peak bull cycle. You could see hundreds of X's with this thing. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't have faith. You know, there are a lot of coins that have that potential, but only a small portion of them will actually achieve that, right? But I do think in the meantime, this thing wants to go up. So let's move on to the next one. That would be PROPC. Sounds like something I would be voting for, or voting against. I don't know. Let's see. Prop chain, MEXC, Bitgate. Which one is better? I'm on Bitget right now. All right, Bitget it is. So it just got listed on MEXC after finding a double top. I bet it comes down just with that. You have MEXC isn't the biggest exchange, but it's an up and coming exchange, right? And the fact that it just got listed on there, you're near a double top. I would bet you see a little bit of selling, probably just with that in mind. But let's look at the daily. Double top on your RSI, pulling back, looking like you're breaking this kind of structure here. Weaker looking RSI than you've seen in quite a while. I think you are going lower. Where are you going to go? Probably working your way, finding resistance on that 236, man. You probably are going. You're at $2.10, $2.11 right now. I bet you go below $1.60. You could go lower than that, but I would say somewhere around $1.60 to $1.45. Would be my expectation. That's where, if not lower, but I would keep it there, probably around this white zone here, the 618 to 69, around again $1.60 to $1.45, somewhere in that range. Moving on from PROPC, finishing this bad boy up with NXRA Alliance Blockchain. NXRA. I like how you say it. And give it to me, right? Because I might have clicked on NXRA Enterprises. And these might be the same, maybe they're not. They got the same symbol, so I would assume they are. Let's look at this. Alliance Block. It's Alliance Block, yeah, NXRA. Is it what? Just real quick, hold on. NXRA. NXRA, and then this is NXRA. It's a little funny, isn't it? Let's see. Kind of looks like the other one, but with follow through. We might use the KuCoin chart. Let's see how MEXC looks. Yeah, we're going to use the KuCoin chart. So volume's increasing as you're moving up. Like to see it. It does look like a W. This is an inherently bullish pattern, but seeing something like this right here, this little pullback, treat this and don't take this to heart for every W you see. But generally, whenever you get your second leg, if it's a successful W, the second leg will be longer than the first leg. Okay, we have that. And generally, when you complete it, wherever it completes, maybe it was to go all the way up here, maybe it barely goes above this, whatever, but it just happened to obviously complete right here. You generally do get this little check back, and then you continue to go higher. So you could treat this kind of like a 1, 2, 3 impulse wave, or maybe the beginning of a zigzag, 5 waves to the upside. But all in all, this correction is normal. probably healthy, gives you an opportunity to buy. It will be a higher low overall, and it'll probably be relative to the move. It probably won't go down like a lot, right? I mean, it's probably already gone down a lot. Let's see what kind of percentage this is. Let's see. Top to bottom, yeah, it's already gone down like 28%. Nobody I know would like to lose 28% of their position, but from relative low to high, you're at your 236 now. I bet you go to your 382, just below this previous high here, your first kind of like all-time high that you checked off at, which isn't really fair to say because this thing hasn't been around for too long. But I bet you don't just go to your 382, but you go a little bit below that. So that's at 9.5 cents. You probably see this thing go maybe even below 9 cents, but around there is what I would think. You could come all the way down to your 0.5, or even to your, you could come down to your 618. That is possible, but just with this kind of formation, I would more think that you stop somewhere in this zone here is what I would think, and probably closer to that 382 line if I really had to guess. But yeah, that's all I got. If I had to pick a winner, I would say Tectum probably is the winner out of these 4 coins. But who knows? They could all do, you know, they could all do really good things. Tectum, in the long scheme of things, might perform the least good out of all of them. Oh man, you were looking up. You wanted to know what the long term is, right? And again, I don't know the long term. This is such a new chart. It's really not fair to say. There's not enough data, but I can say. You know, man, there's a little bit of hope on this based off this fib alone. If you hold this 10.3 cent area, I'm glad that I did this. If you hold this, this could look like a classic setup where you bounce off your 886 and then you continue deeper. One thing that I can say though, because of how bullish this formation is I do expect you'll go deeper. I do expect that you'll see 20 cents, probably even 52 cents at some point. I do think you'll see this 2618, but again, assuming this thing isn't a scam, it doesn't rug pull. I do like the volume. I do like the shape of it overall. Nice double bottom kind of coming out here. W pattern all the way through, hitting your 1272 extension. If you find support on your 886 or your 618, which is all the way, or this is your 69 actually. Your 618 is all the way down to 8 cents. Anywhere in between here would be really good, but ideally probably in this 886 area right around 10.3 cents. If not 10.3 cents, look for a move that'll probably take you below 9 cents, and then from there higher, definitely higher. You're sitting at 11.6 cents now. I think you go above 20 cents, probably even all the way up to here in a relatively short amount of time. Maybe not by the end of the year, maybe by the end of the year, probably not by the end of the year. We're on the weekly here. Maybe after the halving or something like that, maybe before the halving, but you know, I test. All in all, again, still the winner. I would say from like immediate kind of circumstances, what I think would do the best would probably be Tectum, TEC or TET. And I got nothing really else to say. So if you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you'd like to leave a request, feel free to do so in the comments. That's how all of these coins that I've talked about today were presented. They were just requests from 2 people, actually, right? We talked about 4 coins, requests from 2 people. One of them requested 3. So there's no limit. You know, if I have like 30 requests in a day, obviously I'm not going to do 30, and I mean maybe I don't know, I might, but it's, you know, as these things get a little bit more out of hand, we can only talk about so many coins, you know, but for the moment the channel's small enough where we can do this. Feel free to just leave a request if you've got one, and without any further ados, again, hit that like button, that thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good day, good night, bye bye.